It was still up. Yes, Kevin's going to put the clock right. How are you? How the devil are you? Welcome back to the most disorganised YouTuber on YouTube. That's me. It's been a bit of an entertaining day today, one way or another. Just put that blind down, Kevin, because it's making a bright spot in that corner. That's better. I'm still coughing.
Are you sure it wasn't me that was making a bright spot in corner?
No, it'd be unlikely if it was.
Get sat down.
So, hi everybody.
Have we all been to the toilet? Have we all got us a cup of tea? I have.
Have you all had a wee wee? We're back and we're in fine form today. We've been out this morning. We've been on an expedition.
Tell them why you've been out.
So normally I book the shopping for a Tuesday delivery. Because on a Monday, I don't know whether you've noticed, but when you go to the supermarket on a Monday, they've got nothing in. So we have our shopping delivered on a Tuesday for the week. So this morning, T-Boy says to me, "What time's the shopping coming?" I said, "Well, there lies a thing. It's not coming at all. I've forgotten to order it." So off we totaled to Aldi. Well, we set off to Aldi, and T-Boy in training says, "Oh, it's Tuesday." And I thought, but there's no shopping coming. That's why we're going to Aldi. He says, "I've forgotten to put the bin out." So we had to do a quick U-turn and come back and put the bin out. So not only had I forgotten the shopping, he'd forgotten the bin. So that was before we started. So anyway, we've got a little treat for you because we've got a new premiere edition for sometime in the very near future of drum roll and fanfare. Where's my drum roll? Where's my drum roll? Where's my drum roll machine? I've lost my drum roll machine. Just a minute. I need a drum roll. We've got a premiere edition of 3 Go to Aldi for this week. So we've got a video of us going round Aldi and getting very funny looks, exactly. So you can watch that at your leisure. And if you enjoy it, well, you never know, we might do some more because we've got ideas about going to all kinds of different places. So here we are again. If you're new in these parts, we've got everybody watching that is regular bats. We are all regular bats. I've got my little batty friend with me here, and one flying up there. Look, I took the others down. They're on the cupboard there because they were starting to get on my nerves. They were in my way. So this is the bat afternoon. If you're watching for the first time, this is Visit FYLDE Coast normally. I'll put my necklace on. This is Visit FYLDE Coast normally, where we go out and make videos and do things. There you go. And of course, Brew at 2 spells bat. And if you've got a Brew at 2 mug, you are also an official bat. We're just a little company and we just do our best for the place where we love. So when you buy cups and make donations and all the other stuff that we do and sell, it all goes towards making new content. So when you've got your bat mug, you will also get on the bat map. And this week, drum roll and fanfare, another drum roll. We've only been on four and a half minutes. We've already had 2 drum rolls. This week we've got a new bat. We've got a new bat. So this week we welcome, I'm going to show myself up here. We welcome Rona, who is from Dunoon.
Oh, wine or Danone.
which is in Argyll and Bute, and I've got I know it's in Scotland, but I've got absolutely no idea where I'm sticking this on the map. Would you like to come and explain T-Bot in training?
Is it? Is it?
I don't know, because I was going to look and I didn't get a chance.
Is it on the west coast of Scotland?
Yes, but the west coast of Scotland is quite long. So where?
Well, it's... if I remember the train line from Clydebank, if you follow it left from Clydebank and Glasgow, it should be on... Am I right?
What, there? Somewhere?
Where?
Come on, T-Boy, get looking it up.
I'm already
That's
there.
Islands, not
Well, that's Glasgow.
Tayside. Where's Glasgow?
There.
Right, find Glasgow.
That's Glasgow.
Oh, it is, yeah.
There's an awful lot of
So it's
water and
coastal.
islands.
Yeah, so it's there somewhere.
Where?
It's there somewhere, he says.
Yeah, it's more there. I know.
Right.
Roughly speaking.
Rona, are you watching? We reckon that you are round about there. Glasgow is there on the map. This is like a geography lesson, isn't it? Southeast of Oban on the west coast. That doesn't help me, Matt, because I've got no idea where Oban is.
Because I played crazy golf there.
We reckon it's about there. About there. What do you think, Matt?
Where the water goes in.
Do you think it's about there? I'm going to put the pin there unless somebody tells me otherwise. And would you believe I got an O-level in geography? Terrible, isn't it? Terrible. Just seen a message from Claire.
Claire?
Northeast of the Isle of Arran. Oh, well, that's not bad. That's Arran. That's Arran. So I reckon we're not too far away there. We're not too far away. So I'm going to put you on the map, Rona. I'm going to put you on the map. So we're getting ever further northwards. So the trouble is we've just about run out of space around the edge. So I've popped you there, Rona. There you go. So that's Rona. She's our new and latest bat. And on the subject of people and meeting people, Claire has just put a wavy wave on from Maryport in Cumbria. And I saw her yesterday in Blackpool. I was gassing to somebody that I know. I'd come walking down Victoria Street with my camera in full flow, and I saw somebody coming towards me that I know, so I sort of just stopped in mid-sentence. So I stood and had a chat with this person, and we compared notes and all the rest of it. And just as I'd finished and I put my camera back on, what?
No, nothing.
Just as I got my camera back on, I heard this, Jean! and out popped Claire. So yes, no, I've not got any biscuits out at the moment, Joanne.
I was just going to thank Diane for the
controlling
present on the doorstep.
Yes. Yes, Diane's watching this on replay.
Oh, she?
She's gone to look at her friend's 6 Basset-hound puppies.
Really?
Wow.
Before they go to the new homes. I love puppies. I love puppies. So Diane's not with us at the moment, but Diane left a cream cake on the step the other day.
A cream cake was a bit of an understatement.
Cream cake. It's very nice. Matt says, am I going to visit CJ's cafe at the back of Happy Days? It's a lovely cafe, and I may even catch Pete calling the bingo. Well, apparently, Mr. Higgett is closing the shop on the, what did you say, the 5th of November, Kevin?
Yeah.
Fisherman's friend. On the 5th of November, but I think there's going to be still people around in Blackpool in November, because that's when they do all the maintenance and the work and one thing and another. So I was actually planning on going to Happy Days. I was planning on going and seeing if I could annoy them. I can do a food review in there, couldn't I? So yeah, so Claire's ecstatic because she bumped into me. Joanne's just too generous beyond words. Joanne had, if you saw the video I did at Chrissy Gates, I was absolutely sodden wet through last week. So it was lovely to see the gifts and things. Adam says, how's my cough? I was coughing again. I'm coughing. I think the cold's starting to subside a little bit. I don't feel sort of crappy like I did when I started with it, but I certainly got enough I forgot my impulse body spray on, Gary says. Absolutely. So that's the new bat. So what have I been doing in the last week since I saw you? Well, as I've just said, I went to Chrissy Gates. I went into Blackpool on Wednesday last week, and I got drowned. And then yesterday I got blown away. It was absolutely blowing a gale. I went out at 9:30 and there was just a gentle breeze blowing.
But it wasn't as windy as on Emmerdale, was it?
I went in Bonny Street Market, came out of the market.
So I've heard, not that I watched it.
And there was a tornado blowing. Well, T-Boy in training has mentioned it. I think T-Boy's actually been enjoying watching it as well, secretly, over the top of his iPad. So, did you watch Emmerdale on Sunday and last night?
Was that an unlucky place to live or what?
Well, me and Chrissy always said that Emmerdale is the most dangerous place on the planet.
It is.
So on Sunday night, they were all going off left, right and centre and falling down bankings and blowing up and all the rest of it. Joanne says it's boring. Joanne, we had a right good laugh last night.
We shouldn't have laughed, but...
I don't think you were supposed to laugh.
No. Just need a Benny Hill theme tune into it.
But Sam climbed... What was he trying to get away from?
Again, not that I was watching, but apparently Sam and, I can't remember the other one, went to lock the cows up. And
that was it. Rona. Was it Rona?
No, there was somebody else. But unfortunately, the gate swung open and there was this big driveway where they take the tractors and the cows started coming at them. And
that was it. The cows were chasing him. So he ran away from the cows and climbed onto the top of, you know, these big...
He jumped.
Big black plastic bales that they make out of hair. It was just like a comedy, Blaze.
It was.
It was really funny.
And what were the chances of a...
So Sam went running out to the way of these cows, jumped onto these bales like
over.
Action Man, and then he went off.
And we came back to it later and it was stuck on a spike.
Well, it went off on the other side and he'd speared himself on a spike on one of these, you know, like a baling machine that they put on the front of a tractor.
And I don't know the...
We just cracked out laughing.
I don't know the names yet, but who's the one that...
I have to take this off, it's throttling me.
Is it throttling? No, that's me. I can't tell a lie, that was me. And what was that other one where he had to choose between his wife and Chaz?
Oh, yeah.
and he chose Chaz. I wouldn't like to be in his shoes.
Get me out of this.
Get me out of this.
I'm all battered up. So we have a chat messenger thing that
you like your fish battered?
That we use for our...
How did you get that on there?
Friends that meet on a Friday morning. Woo! It's dropped me back. So Kevin puts a message on last night, unlucky or what? Not that I'm watching it.
Oh, my poor mum. I think I upset her.
Yeah, Brenda thought he meant it. We turned it over laughing our heads off. It was funny. I don't think it was supposed to be funny, but it was very good. So that was last night's light entertainment. Anyway, if you've seen the Chrissy Kit video, you'll have seen some of the stuff that you lovely people sent me. So we got to the bottom of the back glasses in the end, and I think I'm right in saying that it was Tierney that sent them, who lives in Liverpool. Now then, aren't they just a Bobby Dazzler? I can't leave them on while I'm doing this because I won't be able to see. I won't be able to see properly. Although I wonder if I could put them over the top of my normal glasses, and then I might be able to. I might be able to read that. What about that then? What about that for an effect? Now then, you don't quite get the right look, do you? But aren't they posh? In fact, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll put them on top of my head like that, and then I look like I've got a headdress on. And I thought that was very nice. In one of the presents from this is Cyril and Joanne's note. You see, I keep all these bits and bobs. I keep all your notes and your letters and your cards. I've got a box down here. So this were funny. This one was from Andrew and Bolton, in case you didn't see it. Just thought I will send you a little gift for you to use when doing your videos in inclement weather. It's a lot better than your fingers. So I thought that was very useful, that Andrew in Bolton. I shall put that in my bag. And then when it's windy, which it always is, I'll have something to wipe them on, won't I? My glasses. So, Peggy in Newark sent me, in fact, Peggy in Newark dropped her present off at Phillips Jewellers in Cleveland. Let me just show you. So there's a fair old bag full here from Peggy, and she sent all kinds of lovely things. And she sent me some Fisherman's Friend look, and some Yorkshire mixture. There you go. Proper authentic Joseph Dobson Yorkshire mixture. Good stuff, that. Good stuff. I might be eating them while we're doing Brew at 2. So there's another parcel at Phillips Jewellers for me to go back and fetch. But Peggy had left for me. So you're just all so nice, just all so kind. It's lovely. So that's not all I've done this week. I started doing the beach stuff. I've got a list here that I'm reading from. I've not got that good a memory. I started last week at the venue doing the information sessions for the beach. Not just sort of talking to people. So I do the admin for the promotion and the public information and things like that. So I take my computer in my bag and I go looking like I'm leaving home. And there's a meeting tomorrow on Wednesday at the Russell Beach group at the community centre on Beach Road. So if anybody wants to come, if anybody's around, you're very welcome. The 2 engineers from the project team are coming to tell us what they're doing and why they're doing it. And I'm just seeing yet another map on Twitter of practically all Britain under a metre of water. I don't think it'll happen, but there you go. And then last week we had our first Cleveland Town Centre meeting, so we've got loads of exciting things on the bubble. Some of them are slightly funny as well. I've just had an email from somebody at Ware Council about Christmas trees, which you can't make it up, honestly. So we're going to try and light Cleveland's up for Christmas, and we're starting to do stuff. We're actually starting to do stuff in Cleveland's Town Centre, and I've got a new joke book. Drum roll and fanfare.
And don't forget to tell them that T-Boy in training, it's painted signboard.
Oh yes, yes.
And got a hand from his dad to put it up.
Yes. T-Boy in training has had the Cleveland signboard to bits. In fact, he went out late. I think I told you, didn't I? He went out late on a Sunday evening and came back with it in the back of the car, and he didn't have the police in tow behind him. Anyway, he spent most of the week in the garage.
Painting.
Drilling and sanding and painting and faffing and doing I've got absolutely no idea what. So on Sunday, was it?
Yes, the door didn't shut properly, so I had to take all the nuts and bolts out, and I had to redo that, and it didn't work afterwards.
Figures.
So anyway, I had a few bits left over, so I put them all, did what I could and put it together. And was it Sunday? Dad, was it Sunday?
It might have been Sunday.
I think it was Sunday. It was Sunday. Me and my adopted dad went and put the signboard back up between us.
And it looks a Bobby Dazzler. We've got
It
a little bottle of gold paint, and we're going to go and paint the letters next, aren't we, Kevin?
I said, it's not going to be a big job. You just need to hold the spanner on the other side while I lift. But anyway, it turned into a bigger job, and he had to lift it with me. So anyway.
No, it's not an IKEA notice board, Eric. It's one that an engineering company made for us for free.
Proper heavy one.
It's a proper job. So while I was in Blackpool yesterday, I went for a wander in TK Maxx. Oh, heaven. I wanted, to be fair, I went in for a reason, because I wanted some glass boxes. Glass food boxes. Because if you've not actually got any, they're brilliant for putting stuff in. How to lose your thread in a sentence. They're brilliant for putting stuff in to freeze, because then you can just pop the defrost it and pop it in the microwave to cook it and warm it up. So today we've had spaghetti bolognese, and I've made enough to feed the street, and I've put half of it in one of my new glass boxes and put it in the freezer, so we've got another meal ready for another day. Glass boxes, my top tip. So that's why I went in. Anyway, I must have been there, at least half an hour, just slowly wandering around, and I found this. I've got a new joke book. So I've had a little look through it, and I thought we'd have some jokes. I've seen your message, James, about the birthday. Let me write it down. Let me write it down, because otherwise when we get to birthdays I'll have forgotten. Right, back to the jokes. Are you ready? So, you'll like this one. Are you listening, Kevin?
I'm always listening to you.
A bald man is invited to a fancy dress party. Keen to make an impression and perhaps even meet a lady, he goes to the costume shop to choose a suitable get-up for the do. He asks the shopkeeper to find him a costume that will hide his bald head and wooden leg. He's not got much going for him, this chap, has he? The shopkeeper thinks for a bit, goes out the back and rummages around, returning with a pirate costume. How about this, says the shopkeeper. The bandana will cover your head, and with your peg leg, you'll look the part. Oh, no, says the man. I want something that hides my bald head and my leg. This will just draw attention to it. So the shopkeeper disappears out the back again and re-emerges carrying a monk's habit. This will hide your leg, and your bald head will be perfect for a monk. The man is irate by now. He says, look, I told you I wanted to hide my baldness and my wooden leg. Have you got anything else? The shopkeeper reaches under the counter and pulls out a big jar of treacle. He plonks it down on the counter in front of the man, and the man says, what am I supposed to do with that? Pour it over your head, replies the shopkeeper, and stick your wooden leg up your bum, and you can go as a toffee apple. Which I quite liked. I thought that was quite funny. Would you like another one? Would you like another one out of my joke book? This is in a joke book, but there's an element of truth in it. Are you ready? The local pub was so sure that its landlord was the strongest man around that they offered a standing £1,000 bet. The landlord would squeeze a lemon until all the juice ran into a glass and hand the lemon to a patron. Anyone who could squeeze one more drop of juice out would win the money. Many people had tried over time, but nobody could do it. One day, this scrawny little man came in, wearing thick glasses and a polyester suit, and said in a tiny, squeaky little voice, "I'd like to try the bet." After the laughter had died down, the landlord said, "OK," grabbed a lemon and squeezed away. Then he handed the wrinkled remains of the rind to the little man, but the crowd's laughter turned to total silence as the man clenched his fist around the lemon and 6 drops fell into the glass. As the crowd cheered, the landlord paid the £1,000. Hey! And asked the little man, "What do you do for a living? Are you a lumberjack, a weightlifter, or what?" The man replied, "I work for the Inland Revenue."
Yeah.
That's what I said. It's a joke, but there's an element of truth in that one. And don't forget to join the Facebook group. I've got a lovely photo of me and Claire that we took yesterday, which I'm going to post in the Facebook group. And I've got another photo of Kevin in the garage with the signboard, which I'm also going to post in the Facebook group. So if you join it, you'll be able to get all the background gossip. I just finished my tea, it's nearly cold. Would you like another one? My sweet old granny is so old, she started to granulate. I think that's a bit of a... This is a funny one. Do you like this one? A vicar was asked to dinner by one of his church members. He knew she was a bad housekeeper, but agreed to come. When he sat down at the table, he noticed that the dishes were the dirtiest that he'd ever seen in his life. "Were these dishes ever washed?" he asked his hostess, running his fingers over the grit and grime. She replied, "They're just as clean as soap and water could get them." She replied, "I've just said that." "As clean as soap and water could get them." He felt a bit uncomfortable, but blessed the food anyway and started eating. It was really delicious, and he said so despite the dirty dishes. And then when dinner was over, the hostess took the dishes, went to the door and yelled, "Here soap, here water."
Woof, woof, woof.
Kevin's trying to compute that one. I can hear his brain ticking from here.
You got 2 dogs, Kevin.
Kevin's got a bit of a problem because Kevin decided to join the chat and I'm getting the punchline before everybody else. So I'm putting ha 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 and the joke's not over yet. So I'm trying to compute that one. I'm sure there's a solution somewhere.
Yeah. The glasses are sliding off. Oh dear me. We don't have much money, but we do see life. I'll put my glasses in my bag. Right. So that was that. Anyway, it gets worse than that. It gets worse than that because while I was in Blackpool, oh, I must show you this first. We'll save the punny funch line. Thank you, Crispy.
Oh, crispy chocolate burger, chocolate and burger fun.
You're going to have to stop smoking.
I've got a really funny little bit for you to look at the end of this. While I was this weekend on my hands and knees going like that, rummaging through cupboards. Do you know, every cupboard in this house, you can't see the worst of the devastation in here, but I kid you not, it is so untidy. Every cupboard in this house is full to bursting. It's kind of like, push as hard as you can and then shut the door tight. So I started going through cupboards
I
and...
tend to shut the door and push as hard as I can.
Yeah, exactly. Or shut the door and then push.
That's a different one. You said that out loud. You were meant to repeat that one.
Did you hear him then? You've done it now, Kevin. You'll have to come and share it.
You weren't supposed to repeat that one.
Well, we have to do a live stream.
Toilet jokes. I shut the door and push it as hard as I can. You weren't supposed to tell them. Oh dear. You've lost it. You've lost it now. Oh.
I think he means.
Toilet. Toilet humor. That's why you said it matter of fact. Or just shut that door and push as hard as you can.
What I meant.
I know what you meant.
Shut the door and then push the door as hard as you can.
I would not laugh.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Do you know,
Can we do a part 1 and a part 2 on this?
it's like this all the time in our house.
Oh dear.
Is that not true, T-Boy?
It is.
I'm going to be quiet now because otherwise you'll not get through the program.
I'm sorry.
Oh dear.
You see what I have to put up with. This is constant. This. Oh dear me. You don't even need to go to Pleasure Beach, do you? Stand and look at that laughing clown. You just watch this. Anyway, going back to my cupboards. I've been on a voyage of discovery. So the first thing is, back to toilets, is the pair of knickers. So it's actually quite a heavy pair of knickers. And I did actually recognise these. I mean, quite a few of you might have had a pair of these in your... Look at the size of them. I'll show you the size of knickers first, because they're a spectacle in their own right. I think they were my grandma's, which makes sense. Because they're actually wrapped round my great granddad's war medal. And we've kept saying we didn't know where this had gone, and it was in a box shoved in the bottom of the cupboard that had got some stuff in from my grandma's. So we're really pleased I'd found that. So it says he died for freedom and honour, and then his name there, Richard Bishop. It's just a shame it's been polished to within an inch of its life. Isn't it lovely? It's really nice, that. And that's from First World War, that, isn't it, Dad? Yeah, amazing. So in this cupboard, I found all sorts of things. Loads of these. Has anybody got any of these? My aunt, I can't crochet to save my life. And my auntie made these, my auntie Gertie. She were a sod, that woman. She were a right short-tempered
I lived with her
curmudgeon.
for a while.
She were. And she made all these. She made loads of them. Little crocheted mats. There's a full set of these pansy ones. I don't think we need to look at all them, do we? And then I found some things that I'd made. So I made that at school. All the way back. It's a shame there's not a date on it, actually. All the way back when I was about 12. So that's an antique. And I quite enjoyed doing that, which set me off on a bit of a patchwork thing. So I made another one. I made a blue one. And then I made a white one. Got a full set. Then I made a white one. And then I made a green one. Oh, no, I made a green one at school. I made the green. That's the one I made at school. It's quite nice, that, isn't it? Not bad at all. Not bad at all for a 12-year-old. And then I started making a quilt cover. But I didn't finish that. It's still, I think it's still shoved in the bottom of the wardrobe somewhere. Yeah, around 1981, Joanne. That's round about when it was. And then I found these. Now, I can remember, as clear as a bell, going to this exhibition, and I'd have been 7, do you reckon, this cheese one?
Yeah, around about then.
7 or 8. And
Yeah.
you know where the Metropole is, and the Cenotaph, and there's a big area at the back of there on the promenade. They used to put tents up, they used to put marquees up and have big events and things. And one year we went, and they were doing a cheese promotion, a big cheese sort of exhibition thing. And we came away with this. I would imagine because it's typographic and quite a nice thing. So I remember that as clear as a bell. So that must have been about 1976, 77.
Yeah.
And then I found Fleetwood. There you go. I bet that's nearly as old as Fleetwood. There's no... oh, it says Thornton Cleveley's on bottom, look. Wow.
That'll be when,
I bet we looked at that and said, where's Thornton Cleveley's?
that'll be when Fleetwood Dock was still full of fishing boats, and it used to be open
Yes.
to the public.
Probably.
Because there's a picture of you on a boat somewhere, isn't there?
Yeah, there you go, you see. So that's what you start finding when you start looking in cupboards. When you've pushed on the door. When you've pushed on the door. So that was that. Anyway, while I was in Blackpool yesterday, you'll like this. You'll like this. Not a lot, but you'll like this. I bought something else. I kept looking at these and thinking, what, shall I, shan't I? And you might not be able to tell what it is if I show it you like that. I don't think Kevin's seen this yet, but Kevin definitely needs to have a go at this. So I got this on Bonny Street Market because it's closing.
It's that way.
It's closing. So I went looking round and thought, in fact, I'll tell you what, Kevin, come and sit down. Come and sit down.
You'll be sorry.
Sit down. Take a seat. Think about what you've done with it. If you can get past all the junk.
I think I know what this is. Am I allowed to go down?
Oh,
Now then, can I have a short back and sides, please?
yeah, you're ready. Take your glasses off.
Short back and sides.
Do you want the bits filling in on the top?
Take your glasses off.
Let's have a look at him.
Can I put my glasses back on?
That's like a photograph of me.
Cue the music.
It's not bad, that, for £2.
I've no idea, I can't see.
You look like him out of
You look like Lionel Vinyl.
Oh, it's like,
him out of Queen.
yeah,
Brian May.
Brian May. Hey! Can I keep it?
Yeah, definitely.
So, if you see me in Cleveley's,
Just don't think you're coming out with me with that on. I think you've got it a bit too far forward. Just a minute. Let's just adjust it for you. Because we don't want you to look silly, do we?
yeah, you don't want me to look silly, do
That's
you?
better.
There you go.
That's better.
So I used to look like this. She used to comb my hair and cut it and say, "Oh, he's got lovely thick hair."
You did.
Yeah, back in
You
the day.
did. You did have lovely thick hair.
Yeah.
What do you think to that then?
Now I'm just thick.
I think that really suits you, that.
Yeah.
What do you think, Dad?
I just need a drum kit.
Yeah. Yeah. You look,
Just need a drum kit.
I've not got a drum kit.
you look 10 years younger.
I'm off.
No, you come here.
I'm off.
I can't make my mind up.
I'm off to Cleveley's.
Oh! What's my chair gone?
What's that? What's that? Oh, sorry, I've adjusted your chair.
Upside down floor.
adjusted your chair.
Oh dear me. Tell you, it's like laugh a minute in here.
Right then, Shirley Bassey, carry on. Diamonds are forever.
I think it does more for you than it does me.
Go on. You've got to finish. You've got to finish Brought Tour with that on.
Okay. Yeah, then what do you think to that? I think I've got a spare curl here at front.
Beautiful. Oh, there was a little girl that had a little curl right in the middle of her forehead.
Middle of her forehead. And when she was good, she was very, very good. And when she was bad, she was horrid. Olive on the buses. Yes, absolutely, Christine. So yes, so I've got a new wig. I've not quite decided exactly what we're going to do with it yet, but I'm sure we can think of Shirley Temple. I'm sure we can think of something. We can do something for wearing it. So, 2 things we've not done: the fish and chipometer and scams. So I was starting to think that we weren't. I've got hiccups now. That we weren't actually Crystal Tips and Alistair. Oh, I used to love watching that. I used to love watching that. I was beginning to think that we weren't going to get any more scams, and now you'll be glad to know that I've had 3 this week. They've not all forgotten. They've not all forgotten me. So I've been compensated by UNESC with IV number, whatever. You are therefore advised to urgently email for more information and clarification on how to receive your compensation fund. But it doesn't actually tell me how much I've been compensated by, which I think is a bit of a swizz. I think that's a bit of a swizz. I've had an email from the Anti-Terrorist and Monetary Crime Division of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. And apparently a series of meetings have been held in the past 2 months with the Secretary General of the United Nations, and it was obvious that I haven't received my fund, which is the sum of $7.5 million. Past corrupt government officials have held the money for themselves. That's shocking, isn't it? So we'll put that one on the scamometer. And I've got another one here as well, which, funnily enough, is almost exactly the same amount of money. And this is a board of directors, members of the Staatsloterij, Netherlands, wishes to congratulate you this month in the Euro Millions jackpot promotion. There were no tickets sold, and it comes with a jackpot prize of €750,000, in which an email address was selected, and mine was attached to a reference number that was chosen. So I've won a category payout of a lump sum of €750,000. What about that then? So just remember, if it looks vaguely suspicious, just don't go there.
Shame I didn't print that PayPal one off.
Exactly. Sandra says, have we seen the scam that you get to your phone that says something to the effect of, Mum, my phone is broken. Can you ring me on this number? Don't. Just don't. Matt says, do the scammers think that we're thick? Well, I mean, these are ridiculous. These that I've been receiving and reading out. I mean, they're just too obvious to know that they're obvious. But yesterday, Kevin spent a good 30 minutes looking at an email that he got that he thought had come from PayPal, which we concluded was actually a scam. So you've got to be careful.
I have to tell you this because this email, because I'm quite reasonably okay with technology, and when somebody sends an email, there's a lot of things that happen in the background to verify that it's come from the right place. And this email had come from PayPal, and it had come from the right email address.
They can clone them.
It had come from PayPal servers, and yeah, that's a tricky thing to do. And it looked like somebody had defrauded our account, and
I
yet
walked in and he said, "Do you know anything about 650 quid?"
exactly.
Like,
So she made me look at the online
no.
account, and there was nothing there. Isn't that right, Anita?
Yes.
Jane.
Anita.
Apparently, you look like Anita Dobson.
Well, you look like Brian May.
Or Fanny, but let's not go there.
Don't have me coughing. Yes, speaking of Fanny Craddock, the cheeky sod.
I was just.
We went shopping so
Have
that
you
we got some food to put in it.
Have you got fly swatter? Because I think you might have it. You've not got it, have you?
Yes, it's
You've
here.
not got it. Right.
We
Go
went
on.
shopping this
I'll
morning
take it. I'll
for
take it.
for some food to put in it. I walked back in and got him his dinner ready, and then the cheeky thing sat there and ate it and said,
Maybe a little more salt.
that wasn't bad, but he's got room for improvement. I said, well, if you're not satisfied with the service, you need a new chef.
Do not try this at home. Not advised. So I'm making my own tomorrow. Making my own.
God help us. I don't think he'd know. He wouldn't even know where to start. Would you?
Ninja were a green turtle. That's all
He
I'm
wouldn't know where to start.
I'll draw you a picture of a pan.
Yeah, exactly. So I went last week to Muffin Break. Now I've got a very big apology to make here for malfunction of the volume, because the noise in the background was just so loud you couldn't hear a word I was saying, basically. Part of the problem is that I use... Have I done some? Yes, Scott, do you like it? It's very nice, isn't it? I use a microphone on a wire because I find them to be more reliable. And when you're using an ordinary, they're called a lavalier microphone that you clip onto your collar. When you're using one of them, they've only got a fairly short cable because they're only designed to be stretching a certain distance. So I have an extension cable for the microphone, and I think there's something wrong with that. And that's why it had picked such a lot of background noise up as opposed to what I said. So I'm ever so sorry. I'm ever so sorry about that. But nonetheless, the muffin break food was lovely. It was really nice. It was really nice. So I'm going to put it on the fish and chipometer. I'm going to put it on the fish and chipometer, and I'm going to put it quite well. At the moment, we've got a bit of a thing going on. So I think really it needs these are all kind of on a par with each other. These that are in yellow. Yorkshire Fisheries is still at the top. I've yet to find something to beat that. Would you like the wig, Caroline? If you pop down to Bonny Street Market, you can get one. They're still available until they close. So I put muffin break near the top. So while I was in Blackpool yesterday, I went and did another food vlog. Joan, you've just missed the toilet joke. You need to watch it back on replay, because we have been killing ourselves laughing. I don't know whether everybody else were laughing along with us, but God, we were laughing. So, yesterday I did do a fish and chip review, which hopefully, fingers crossed, will go online on Friday. So I used the GoPro for that, and I think it's fair to say that that's worse. So I'm going to see if I can edit it on my laptop, which is a whole other boatload of issues. So fingers crossed. Hopefully there'll It'll be a proper fish and chip Friday on Friday for you. But we'll see. We'll see what God sends us. I bet Caroline's wondering what the hell I've got on my head. She's only just joined us.
She's had a bad hair day.
Yes, I've had a very bad headache. I tell you something, it's half warm. It's really warm. I could go out in it, couldn't I, to keep me warm? What do you think? So that takes us on to birthdays. So, birthdays. I have a few birthday people. I think, in order to celebrate the birthdays, I think I'll put the birthday spectacles on. Shall I leave the wig on as well at the same? Oh, what about that? What about that, T-boy?
What's that?
What do you think to that, then?
Oh, that's a real improvement.
What about that, then? Pink bow. I'm sure I've got a pink bow somewhere. I'm sure I can find one. I'm looking around. I can't actually see one from here. But I'm sure I'll be able to find one. I'm sure I'll be able to find one. So, happy birthday to Jane Whittaker, whose birthday is on the 19th, which is tomorrow, I believe. And James Mallon put a message on earlier earlier in the show, and said, would I wish his lovely wife Diane a happy birthday from her lovely husband. So happy birthday to Diane Mallon. I'm just laughing at T-Boy in Training, who says you really, really don't want to be joining late. Leo Sayre, that's it. Elton John and Leo Sayre. I'm doing the entire rendition of Stars in Their Eyes. So happy birthday to you. Now then, I'm going to leave the wig on while we do this week's finale. I think it's only fitting that I should leave it on. I think really I ought to know this off by heart by now, don't I? I do really. Yes, I do look like Lionel Vinyl. I think I look just like him. When I see Norrie next time, he's lovely, is Norrie. When we very first moved here and we were very, very first decorating our house, Lionel Vinyl used to have a show on Radio Wave on a Sunday. Can you remember, Kevin? He's not
Lionel
listening.
Vinyl, yes. In fact, you do look like him.
And Lionel Vinyl is a DJ, Joan.
And he's back.
Eh?
Coastal Radio Dab, it's back.
Yes, Coastal Radio is back. Yeah, so Lionel Vinyl used to have a show on Radio Wave on a Sunday. So while we were sanding and emulsioning and glossing and varnishing and doing all the DIY stuff, we used to listen to Lionel Vinyl, and he played all the proper 1970s disco stuff, all the really good stuff that's uplifting and cheerful and makes you feel like dancing type of thing. So that was where we kind of first met Lionel Vinyl, as it was. And then when I started going to things in Blackpool and getting involved in Blackpool life and one thing and another, I met this guy called Norrie. So he's Lionel Vinyl's tall, so Norrie's obviously tall. And then somebody said to me, you do realise it's Lionel Vinyl? Well, you could struck me down with a feather. I mean, to be fair, he does wear a wig like this, and he has a moustache painted on in black coal and a beard, and 26 feet slap. So he looks nothing like that when he's normal. And he's a really nice bloke. He does loads for kids, loads against bullying, and does party nights, and he does a show at Viva in Blackpool at Christmas. And he's a really bigger than, larger than life chap. So yes, I would recommend Lionel Vinyl if you've got any chance to see him. So I do.
You need to Google Lionel Vinyl.
Yeah, Google Lionel Vinyl, and you'll discover that he looks just like this. In fact, I think I might take a picture and send it to him. So, I think, people, I think that brings us to the end of this week's show. So without any more of ado, I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope you've enjoyed laughing at my expense as usual. Without any more of ado, we shall finish on our finale piece. Smiling is infectious. You catch it like the flu. When someone smiled at me today, I started smiling too. I passed around the corner and someone saw my grin. And when he smiled, I realised I'd passed it on to him. I got that far off memory. I thought about that smile, then realised its worth. A single smile, just like mine, could travel round the earth. So if you feel a smile begin, don't leave it undetected. Let's start an epidemic, quick, and get the world infected.
Bye.
Bye! See you next week!